The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Around the Indoor Football World, Shield TV, and The Big Football Show. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Brosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, Bodkin Show, and Spirit of Detroit Podcast. The nightly podcasts are Halas Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Wrestling Roundup, Skull Gang 365, First and 10 with Foz, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballin' Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, 313 Den Podcast, Puckett, The Guys Huddle, Main Event Football Show, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and Off the Rails. Hope you enjoy all the shows and feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe. This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Halas Hall Report. That intro music for that second video, that's what other teams are going to be hearing this year, right? With this Bears team, like the omnibus, dangerous team coming to get you. Good morning, everyone. So, hey, a guy with his no opinions from Pennsylvania, a guy who likes to hold up defense signs, a retired guy, and a Bear fan who's a producer whose face we don't see get together in the morning. Oh, wait, we have a podcast. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Oh,
morning, guys.
Great fucking mood I'm in, as always.
I'm a big surprise there, man. Hey, we've been talking about it, and here it comes. We need that music again, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, it's official. It's official. As of what, Thursday, it's official. We are going to be on HardKnocks. So it was funny, guys, because I'm sure, y'all had people hitting you up. I do with Ken and Ken in the morning. We had just gotten off air, and a couple hours later, they announced it. So everyone's, look, you're going to be on HardKnocks. Look, you're going to be on HardKnocks. And with everyone, when they posted it, I just put, wow, what a surprise. I mean, Woody, were you surprised by this at all?
No, because Chia Pet being drafted number one. I'm excited to watch him. I just hope it's not a distraction. That's all I'm afraid of. But so can't wait to watch.
So Billy, are we gonna see some tailgating at camp now so we can be on HardKnocks? I mean, why not, right?
Nah, like I say, I'm not a real big fan of the HardKnocks. Like Woody said, hopefully it doesn't interfere with what we have going on in an organization, but not really a big fan of it.
Like I don't understand. They're expanding HardKnocks, right? Because the Giants are doing the post or the preseason, whatever one that comes out in July, which covers up through the draft, and we'll get to see inside their war room. I mean, and when you think about the Bears with the 1920 football lane video they did, is basically no different than HardKnocks, right? They videoed their process of drafting Caleb, drafting Rome, doing the whole draft, and a little bit after. HardKnocks is the same thing. The camera's already there, right? Just now you're giving the footage to HardKnocks. The only thing I can see is different at camp because there'll be cameras there. Really? Like there isn't cameras there to begin with? I mean, Billy, to me, the only thing that would be different was like, hey, today we're going to feature Billy Defense Guy, and we're going to go to his house and talk to him and his spouse and his kids if he has any. And I think that's like the only thing extra, really, that they do, isn't it?
Yep, basically.
In the van, Billy. In the van.
In the van, huh?
Speaking of in the van down by the river, there's Bear Down Mike in his car. Good morning, Mike.
Hey guys.
What's up, spark plug?
Actually, it wasn't the spark plugs. It was the coils, and it got replaced for free because it's under warranty.
Nice.
So the Bears, and the other thing that kind of like led us to good morning, Matt. Oh, wait, good morning, Yoli.
Yoli, top fan.
Yeah, she is. I think Yoli just leaves the app on her TV, and so whatever show is going, she's watching too.
I think she's a closet Bears fan. That's just my honest opinion. Her whole family.
Well, all her brothers are Bears fans, so I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe she's just trying to infiltrate the Packer fan group to give us intel, which really doesn't matter because we're talking about the Packers, so there's not much intel to gather. I mean, they're Packer fans after all. But Billy, I mean, I think the writing was on the wall though. The second we got the Hall of Fame game and we're eligible, right? I mean, if you look at the Jets Hall of Fame game, they were eligible. Oh, we're gonna put you on HardKnocks. And plus, Aaron Rodgers didn't hurt. I think they've covered the Hall of Fame game almost every damn year, haven't they? HardKnocks. It feels like that.
Yeah, and I'll be up there this year too. So,
speaking of Rodgers, he looked pretty cute last night because he was at the UFC fight in Newark, New Jersey, smiling and stuff. I just want to punch him in the face. I swear to God.
So we got HardKnocks coming up. That's going to be interesting. We're trying to figure out something for folks who don't have access to Max with the subscription side of the Mike the Bear fan page. We were talking about that this morning. So keep your heads on a swivel, as they say. We may have a way for people to watch it. But I thought like last year, like the Jets did a good job. I mean, as much as Woody loves Aaron Rodgers, I thought Aaron Rodgers was a riot. I get to meet the voice of God, Liv Schreiber, right? I get to meet the voice of God. And they brought Liv Schreiber on and, they flew him in the helicopter and he lands. And, well, I'm not even going to worry about Rob. Rob, I got something to tell you in a minute. Real quick, sorry, sidebar. Cowley just got his diamond. Does that make you feel old yet, Rob? Yeah, Michael Cowley just got his diamond. You'll know what that means. But, Liv Schreiber flies in the helicopter, and they made a fun thing out of it. So I thought the way, Rodgers and the Jets handled it wasn't too distracting. They made it as another fun part of camp. Like, oh, my God, we get to meet the voice of God. I mean, that was kind of cool. I know Rob from the Packers shows and the morning show doesn't want to watch it because he's afraid he's actually going to like the Bears. So, Yoli, make sure you watch HardKnocks so we can get you back to with the rest of your brothers and convert you back to a Bears fan. No, Rob, I am not kidding you. He is now a diamond. Yep, he's now a first sergeant. So I mean, I don't know. I'm with you guys. Though. I hope it doesn't create a distraction. With us being on HardKnocks. I mean, there are only 3 teams eligible. But my God, I think every team is going to get hit up on HardKnocks more now with 3 different versions of it. At least the good thing is with us being on it now, we don't have to worry about being on it during season or in that new preseason one for at least a couple years. Because I don't know, did either of you guys watch the Miami version of In Season last year?
Nope.
So it's funny, they were cruising along. Miami was, and they had an end of season slide, and they were on HardKnocks.
Well, we're on a slide continuously every year, so maybe it's an upslide.
Could be. Hopefully.
Can't get any. Can't get what's Robert say about this? Sir Rocker agree, waiting for the HardKnocks to give us something interesting. Think they are hoping to ride the KL pipe. Yeah, they are. I mean, the Bears are definitely a team to talk about, right? Hey, what's up, Mike? Definitely the team to talk about with our off season. So, Billy, it's been a minute. Let me transition here from HardKnocks. What do you think of the transition of this, transformation of this team between the free agent signings and the draft this year?
Everything looks good. I mean, I'm just one of the fans that I have to see it on the field to get on board with everything. I mean, everything looks great. It's just I'm just used to seeing stuff like this, so it's just they just got to put it all together on the field for me, to win some games. But it looks good, man. Like I said, quarterback, everything, tight ends, receivers. I don't know. We look good. It's just we'll see what happens, man.
I can't remember the last time though, Billy, and we all of us for the most part here, we're watching 85 games. I said, one wasn't, of course, but I can't remember an offense on paper this stacked ever.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's like I said, it's exciting, man. I mean, we have weapons. We supposedly have the quarterback that can do it for us, but I don't know, man. We'll see what this line could do for them, and let's just hope for the best, man.
Usually our defense.
We're so used to our GM being all defense.
What was that, Mike?
We're so used to seeing our GMs just go after defense. That's all.
Yep.
Well, that's the other thing.
Both sides of the ball is awesome.
Well, that's the other thing, Billy. I mean, this is the first draft that I can remember, I think almost ever, where through 4 picks, no defense was selected. We always take someone in the defense in the first, second, or third round. We had to trade back into the draft into the 5th round before we took a defensive player.
Yeah, we got a punter before a defensive player.
Yeah.
We all know we needed that offense upgrade, and that's what they gave for us.
And then we didn't trade out of 9. We drafted like the old Bears would have traded out, right? That was how we used to. So I mean, I think I've been kind of saying that Foles is kind of like Theo Epstein was for the Cubs.
You hope so, John.
John always hoped that.
Yeah, affirmative.
So I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of hype on Caleb, number 1 overall pick. A lot of hype in him coming out of college. I mean, if he is half of what they say he is, we're gonna have a good season. If he's 3/4 of what they say he is, the division's in trouble. If he's what they say he was, or he exceeds expectations, the whole league is in trouble. I think that's kind of how I'm looking.
I don't think if we don't get 10 wins, I'm thinking it's a ruined season.
That's what I'm saying. This kid got to get us into the playoffs.
If
I don't get in the playoffs, it was a bust.
I think we have the 3rd or 4th weekest schedule.
Yep.
Yeah, if you believe in such things, because in this league, in this league, it's any given Sunday. But one thing I will say is when I look at the schedule this year, I see 17 winnable games. I don't see a single game on there where I go, yeah, we can't win that game. Because usually there's 1 or 2 games, or in the case a couple Bears teams pass multiple. This is one of those years, though. And you know what? It's not just for the Bears, though. That's the scary part, is I can look at the Lions schedule, Green Bay's schedule, Minnesota's schedule, and for all 4 teams, I can see where they could win every single one of their games are winnable. So as a division, sorry, Lions, you finally got good. The rest of the division got good with you. As a division, we're really good. But when I look at this Bears schedule, tell me one game on that Bears schedule when you look at it and you say, yeah, we can, is there one game where you go, we don't have a shot at hell at winning that game?
Yeah.
49ers.
The Houston Texans, week 2.
I kind of agree with Woody on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say Texans.
They're pretty stacked. They're a young team. I agree.
Really? With our defense? And I mean,
we improved, but from what they've improved the last couple of years and the more talent they had, I just think they got the better team overall. I like our team, don't get me wrong, but I think they got the better quality team.
I mean, you could.
I think they got a better coach.
I mean, we could think, though, they have a better coach. We think they have maybe a little better team, but it's still a winnable game. That defense of ours is still really good. The offense, we don't know yet, but we know at minimum we got a good running game, right? We know that at minimum. We know that even if Justin Fields was still the quarterback, that's a game we could possibly win with Justin, right? If he was quarterback still. as I mean, it's a winnable game. I don't look at that. I don't. And San Francisco, I mean, the team that barely beat the Lions, that barely beat the Packers, like that's not a game we could win. I mean, they're winnable games. Now, whether we win them or not, you know.
Yeah, but when's the last time Bears went into San Francisco and won?
Well, this team, I don't know, because this team's never gone into San Francisco.
Oh, man, Ken's got all the.
I mean, well, think about it, though. This team, this squad, this coaching staff, when was the last time they went to San Francisco to play a game?
Next question.
I mean, history is great and all, but the problem with history in football is this. This is a whole new team, whole different GM, president of operations, coaching staff than we had 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, otherwise I could just say, well, 85 Bears, man. I mean, shit, you know, history shows we're the best ever, so we're going to be the best ever every year because history. I mean, now I sound like a Packers fan, right? I mean, it's a whole new everything. I mean, this staff, I get what people say historically. When was the last time that we were able to go to City X and do something? Well, okay, that's great. If it was the same group of players, same coaching staff, same front office, but it's not, right? So don't you, I mean, it's great to talk about when we do a show or, you know, have someone want to debate on Facebook page, but let's be honest, like, like Jordan Love, you know, I mean, went in to destroy the Cowboys, not because Rodgers had done so 4 times prior, right? I mean, you know, it was still up in the air whether he could do it, and they did it. But I think part of that's also they know that head coach really well, not Mike McCarthy. But you see, I mean, Billy, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah. When is the last time Cowgirls won a playoff game? So that's history.
Yeah. I mean, I could see from a fan side, it's easy for us to say stuff like that because it makes it explainable. Oh, we always find a way to choke. But this is a new everything. So I don't know if we find, you know, if you're talking about a bigger thing like a curse. Okay.
Jeez.
Okay, John. Well, John, let's talk about something that John Dorn does not have in Green Bay. And yeah, man, exactly. The culture is changed in Halas Hall. And we're going to talk about some of that because we're going to talk about something that John Dorn. Jesus. I love Packer fans. I'm going to talk about something that John Dorn and the Packers don't have. Wide receivers. So this is the top wide receivers. And DJ Moore pops in at number 12 this year.
Wow.
By the way, there were no Packers in the top 10. So DJ Moore comes in at number 12 on the ratings list, I guess. This is PFF. Right ahead of Puka. Puka had a great year. I just love the guy's name, Puka. Yeah. So he comes in at 12. Then and then coming in next is at 22, Keenan Allen comes in. So right ahead of Waddle, who just got paid. Right? And then here's where it gets interesting. Rome is already at 29. They have Malik Neighbors at 25, which is interesting. Did I miss? I'm sure I did. Where's Marvin Harrison at? Okay, 21. He's at 21. So those are the PFF rankings. So we have 3 in the top 30, which I don't know about having Neighbors, Harrison, and Odunze in there, Billy, because, I mean, these kids have never taken a snap. So how can PFF rate them? But what do you think of those rankings?
I think DJ Moore should be a little higher. My honest opinion.
He could be in the top 10.
That's the only argument I have.
Well, PFF and NFC, they got Caleb Williams at 10, and he's still never taken an NFL snap. So you don't believe in the ratings?
Well, no. I mean, it's hard because like they're college. You know, they're taking the ratings from college, right? And that doesn't translate necessarily, right? Everything is different. Slower game.
And the last rookie to host Hard Knocks was Cleveland, Baker Mayfield.
And Baker turned out all right. I don't know, Billy. What do you think about these ratings?
Like you said, man, with some of them receivers, I mean, it's college. I mean, this is the whole NFL here. They shouldn't be on there. I mean, I don't know how you're going to rank them right there, but
Well, just like when you do your fantasy draft, when a player comes out that's hella good, he might be in the top 20. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm not taking him. No, you're going to take that gamble and take him.
I mean, well, yeah.
Depending on the player.
But I think the PFF grading, I don't know if it necessarily translates like people think it should. Like Caleb being at 10, I mean, I get what you're saying, Mike, because like he's going to go in fantasy draft, right? So it's kind of akin to that. But to say that he's already better than 22 other starting quarterbacks, and he's never even taken a snap in the league, it's you know what I'm saying? It just feels kind of strange to say that.
So Donald's better.
Well, at least Darnold's played an NFL game for me to compare with.
I'll give him one spot up. I'll give him ahead of Daniel Jones.
I mean, but you know what I mean, though. I mean, it's hard to rank them. And look at, I mean, and then we get OTAs. You know, oh my God, you know, he got benched. He got benched at OTAs. Oh my God, and then now they're quiet because this happens this week, right?
Now, Ken, I see you mocking me. I was the first one to say about the OTAs. Oh, big deal. So he had a good day. Okay. Consistency, pal. Consistency. That's all I care about.
Rookies are going to struggle. He struggled the first day, and the media made it sound like it was so much, oh, he got benched. He threw 7 interceptions consecutive, this and that. I'm pretty sure that was like strung out to extra. Yeah, he had a bad day. It's a rookie. You know what I mean? Then he came back and did this.
So you think the coaches would say, oh, he's a rookie. He'll do better next day, but they benched him. So what does that say?
It says he's going to be our starting quarterback.
No. Hey, Billy. Hey, Billy, let's you and I take a trip, brother, because you'll enjoy this. So last year, remember, Billy, we were sitting here watching this stuff, and you remember how we had talked about Chase Claypool, and we kind of, you know, I think you and I were on the same team. We liked the trade on paper, right? And then during the season, we were both like, yeah, hey, it's mid-season. What's he going to do, really? He's not going to learn the whole playbook in a day. And at camp, you know, we got excited, right? Because Chase was awesome. Remember? He was blowing up camp. I mean, he looked like the best receiver in the NFL during camp, right? Hey, do you want to remind everyone what happened week 1 after he looked awesome all summer and we thought he was the best wide receiver ever at camp?
Best blocker.
Oh, wow, that guy was horrible.
So do we really care about OTAs and camp performances as far as an indicator?
Nope.
That's what I thought.
Nope. Like I said, I got to see it done on the field. I want to see it week 1. I don't care about camp. I don't care about practice. I don't care about none of that stuff.
Let's see what he looks like in the preseason.
Yeah, week 1's preseason also.
Hey, week 1, that's where it starts for me.
It is. No, I agree, though. Week 1 is still like preseason because the starters, you know, Billy remembers these days. Woody remembers these days. Mike might have caught the tail end of them. You know, when starters played like a quarter in the first game, 2 quarters in the second game, 3 quarters in the third game, and the fourth game they pretty much rested, right? And that's when the guys make it after the final cuts. We're trying to make that final cut, right? And so those guys. So you still got a lot of your second string guys in their third string. The starters might have seen a series or 2. But now it's like the starters might play maybe a total of a quarter's worth of preseason football. So how are they game shape ready by week 1 with getting no game time prior? Because practice is practice, but it's not game. It's not even close competition. So
I think injuries came in a big effect on that. You don't want somebody injured over something. You know what I mean? But I agree with you a little bit, but they're professionals. They should be somewhat ready.
I mean, okay, older guys. I mean, do you guys remember any? I mean, there would always be maybe at least one big injury in training camp across the league, right? About one a year, maybe. Okay, how many do we get in week 1 now, comparatively speaking, to what we used to get in training camp? I'm sure someone's out there somewhere crunched the numbers for NFLPA or whatnot. But I think there's more injuries now in week 1 than we've ever had before. and more than we were getting in camp, because at camp, they don't do any camp, and now they're supposed to go 100% full throttle starting week 1, but they've done no ramp up. I mean, that makes no sense to me.
That's why a lot of them are getting hurt.
Yeah. So maybe they should go back to the old way, right? It would definitely make shows like Hard Knocks more interesting than watching rookies play on every episode of Hard Knocks. I mean, that was a letdown watching the Jets last year. Like, you're waiting for Aaron to play. Hall of Fame game. They show Aaron on the field for like all of 2 seconds, and the rest of the episode, it's him joking on the sideline. Maybe that's why he hurt his Achilles. Not enough time and getting battle tested before the season. I don't know. But OTAs, we got what? 4 more or 3 more until camp?
I think it's 3.
3 more. We're only like 97 days from camp now. Yeah, I mean, here we go, Robert. Yep. He says the problem comes from not starting starters in preseason, so really the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season seems like preseason. Anyone disagree with that?
Nope.
Nope.
It's hard when we all agree. I was waiting for Mike to say, hell yeah, it makes a difference. But so our wide receiving core, I mean, they have 3 in the top 30, though. I mean, I can't remember. Do we even ever get 1 in the top 30? When was the last one? Brandon Marshall?
Alshon Jeffrey.
I was about to say Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey. Have we ever had multiple in the top 30 before? Let alone 3?
Nope.
I don't know. You'd have to look up when Brandon Marshall and Jeffrey were in the same one.
Yep.
I think they might have. We've never had a trio.
Probably Kevin White before he started the game.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Good old Kevin White.
Wow.
He's still in the league, isn't he? Or did he finally get out of the league?
I think he's playing in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at some weaponry, because we have a lot of weaponry. So here's our weaponry starting right now. Lots of some changes there. Actually, the only 2 that were there last year were Komet and Moore. Everything else was new.
Yep.
So
Right.
what do you guys think about running back Swift kind of being RB1? Billy, do you think Swift will be RB1, or do you think Khalil Herbert keeps his job?
No, Swift's taking that.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
So that's still on paper. That's a pretty stacked starting lineup right there. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I agree.
like
What
it.
I like about it is, remember how I said like a month ago that his best season coming off is Allen, and he was in the slot. Look where he's at the depth chart right now. He's sitting in the slot. Rome's sitting at number 2. So it could be a big year for, possibly Rome and Allen again. And the question is, who's going to reach that 1,000 first? Who's going to get that 1,000?
Well, let me ask.
I see
Billy.
2 at 1,000.
All right, Billy. How many of the 3 do you think get to 1,000?
I'm gonna go Allen. Give me Rome and Swift. Running backs getting 1,000.
Ooh. Bear down, Mike. What do you think?
I think DJ and Rome. I think Keenan will get hurt like he does every year. But
He did last year.
He got hurt last year.
he got hurt last year, but
He only played in 12 games last year and put up 1,200 yards.
yeah, but you got more guys to throw the ball to. Everybody's going to want a piece.
All right. Woody, what about you?
Unfortunately, I say Swift and Moore.
All right, Mike, producer side.
I'm going to go with Moore and Allen. I think Rome's going to have a pretty decent year, probably 700-800 yards, but I think Moore and Allen will. I don't think Swift will. I think we're back heavy, and they'll spread it around.
I'm going to go Moore, Cole Kmet.
Whoa.
Yeah. I kind of think Swift's going to have a big year. I don't know if he'll get to 1,000. And then I'll go with Rome. because Mike makes a good argument. If Allen does get hurt, then Rome's going to pick up more of that if he gets hurt, but also with the ball distribution. And the thing I like about this receiving core, guys, is when you think about all three of them are capable of playing all three positions. So I can envision a set where on play one, the formation might have DJ at the 1, Keenan in the slot, Rome in the 2. And then you come out the next play and Rome is in the slot, Keenan's in the 1, and DJ's in the 2. You know what I'm saying? And they can mix it up. These guys, they can move them around for matchup issues, certain design play issues. I mean, Billy, I don't remember a time we've had anything. Our offense has always been pretty straightforward. Like, you knew we were just going to try to run the ball down your throat, and we always had like one wide receiver that we were just going to try and throw bombs to, right? And this is the first time I can think of a scenario where we can do funky stuff like make our 1 the slot, or slot the 1 or the 2, or my 2 the 1 or the slot. We can move these guys around. And oh yeah, by the way, we got 2 tight ends who basically do nothing but catch the ball whenever that's in their direction. We got a running back room that's got 3 guys that are all super capable of catching the ball, right? So it's like having 3 Matt Fortes back there.
So many options.
And tell me this is not a rookie quarterback's wet dream.
Hopefully it's not too much for him. I mean, hopefully he doesn't choke. I mean, like you said, if this kid's half of what everybody's saying it is, we're going to tear it up, man.
I just hope he doesn't favor one receiver as well.
Well, Rome and him already. Yeah, him and Rome already got a chemistry. They've had it for a minute. They've been working out together pre-draft. They fly the draft together. You could see it when they both got drafted, the way they were together, how they almost complete each other's sentences. They might as well almost be joined at the hip. But this is, I think, what's going to help dictate that, right? This is the important piece right here. New center. Hopefully Nate Davis stays healthy. Hopefully Tevin Jenkins stays healthy. What do you guys think of this O-line? Bates at the center, Davis at right guard, Darnell Watt at right tackle, Tevin Jenkins at left guard, and Braxton Jones now coming into his 3rd year at left tackle. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Davis and
love it, man. I love the big center change.
Yeah, Davis and Jenkins got to stay healthy, and Braxton's got to, with his holding calls. So hopefully that dials down this year.
Yeah, he's got to learn to control that bull rush.
With Braxton, though, do you think maybe it was just a little bit more of a sophomore slump last year? I mean, overall, all our second-year guys had a slump last year. Some of them, like Gordon, we didn't notice it maybe while we were watching the games. We look at his numbers. Like Kyler Gordon, his numbers were down, right? Do you think maybe it was just more of a sophomore slump with him last year? Because he still had a green PFF grade.
Let's hope it is.
And Tyreek Stevenson, hopefully he has a little bit more discipline, because he, with those penalties, late
those
hits, stuff like that. So hopefully he doesn't have a sophomore slump either.
But Billy, I mean, because you're obviously at every game, Billy. When Tyreek Stevenson hits someone, what's that atmosphere like in the stadium? Because I got to figure he hits so hard, it's got to just generate something in that stadium.
Oh, dude, it's like Mike Brown being back on the field, man. When you hear it, when he comes in flying, it's awesome.
I compared him to Sean Taylor. When I first saw Tyreek, I said, "Oh my God, it's like Sean Taylor reincarnated."
Nice. I'll stick with Mike Brown.
Yeah, Mike Brown's good too. I mean, they're both good, but I mean, yeah.
With Stevenson and his hits and Brisker and his taunting, man, he scares shit out of me sometimes. Like, we're gonna get a flag.
Yeah, but like Brisker also had a down year via his PFF grades last year. We didn't see it maybe on the field as much, but what got me mad with that Brisker penalty, the now famous one where he took the helmet off, like even the NFL came out later and said, yeah, that shouldn't have been a penalty because his face mask was literally broken off his helmet.
Oh, that was Kyler. That was Gordon.
Oh, that was Gordon. That was Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brisker had a Penn State year.
Yeah, had a Penn State. Yeah. So here's something that's way too early. Look, at this time of year, this is what I love about this point of season. I mean, you guys see the clickbait, with all the, wonderful headlines that these guys come up with. Well, here's one we ripped out of the pages of clickbait just for you.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
What would it take?
Coach of the year?
True or false or never?
Never.
I'll say never. Nah.
Now, if Eberflus is on the hot seat, that's true.
No, I don't think that's true.
I think it is. That's my opinion, though.
Okay, but let me ask you this: why would you say he's on the hot seat?
You got to be able to coach his team. Remember last year, three games we were in, we lost. We were up double digits. That doesn't happen.
Did Eberflus call the offensive plays?
It's just like Caleb Williams coming into a wet dream. If Eberflus can't win with this team or coach this team to a 10-7, record, I would think he's on the hot seat if we go 8-9 or 7-10.
Well,
Billy, what do you
Eberflus
think?
did great with the defense, but I don't think you can put it on Eberflus with the offense when you don't make the offensive play calls. We got an offensive coordinator that
He's
did
still
that.
the head coach, man.
Yeah, he's the head coach. He makes the final decision.
He's the head coach.
Something happens in the locker room, it's Eberflus's fault. I got you.
What do you think, Billy? Is he on the hot seat?
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be in the hot seat, man. Like you said, if we only win like 6, 7, 8 games, yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Unless this team has a complete Chernobyl meltdown, he's not on the hot seat. And here's why. Because we're changing the culture in Chicago. And Ryan Poles talks a lot about breaking the cycle, changing the culture. If we win 8 games, 9 games, miss the playoffs, and if people are like, oh my God, we have to fire Eberflus, right? Because it was a bust season. Well, are we just continuing the same cycle we've done with every quarterback since Jim McMahon? Bring in a quarterback for a season, maybe not since Jim McMahon, but our quarterback woes for the last 2 or 3 decades. Bring in a quarterback. Oh, we didn't perform. Fire the coach. And now it takes 2 years to install a new coaching system, culture, blah, blah, blah. Oh, get rid of the quarterback. Okay, let's go get another one. Oh, wait, now that coach can't win. Didn't win. Fire the coach.
Well, remember, Flus is not Poles' guy. Poles didn't hire him.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you didn't.
Poles, in fact, yeah, he did.
He signed off 2 days before you met the guy.
Poles got hired first, right? Poles was part of the coaching hiring. He in fact did hire. That was his first official move, if I remember correctly, was to hire Eberflus.
I'm gonna look it up again. I don't think so.
Billy, you remember that?
I don't remember. I'm trying to. I can't remember.
Poles was hired first, and then he was part of the coaching search. And yeah, he hired Eberflus. But I think Eberflus, and you can tell Eberflus isn't on the hot seat just by the way he's acting. Look at his demeanor. He's relaxed. He's comfortable. He's enjoying football. He's coaching. He doesn't act like a guy in the hot seat. He doesn't. The dude's not in the hot seat. I think they're going to give him at least 2 years. This year, next year, minimum. Next year, I would say he's more likely to be on the hot seat than this year. Because once again, Poles wants to break the cycle. And he talks about it. And I don't know why we don't pick up on what he talks about, because it's not just us, it's the national media. Like Ryan Poles comes out and says, we're doing things differently. And then we all say, oh, they're going to do this because of what? History. And then he doesn't do that. People are like, well, oh my God, Poles threw us a curveball. Did he really? He's been telling everyone he's changing how we do things in Chicago. So why do we not?
We got rid of Fields and kept him.
Yeah, I mean, but that Billy, you're not wrong though. You're not wrong. That's part of it too, right? So like when Theo Epstein came to Cubs, he said, "Look, we're going to change the way we do business. We're going to change the way we do things." Everyone said, "Okay, fine," and they let that go. Why can't they do that with Poles and the Bears?
Who gives a fuck about the Cubs?
Here we go. I got it. Matt Eberflus had his final interview with the Bears before Ryan Poles was hired. George and Ted and Bill Polian strikes again with another head coach. Poles was hired on January 25th. There were 3 candidates: Caldwell,
Right.
Eberflus, and Dan Quinn. On January 27th, Matt Eberflus was hired. He was hired 2 days after Ryan was hired.
But Ryan still had input on that, and they obviously talked. I remember when it happened. They said, "Was Poles going to be a part of it when they hired him?" I said, "Yeah, he is going to be a part of the decision making process. He may have not have done the interviews, but he obviously reviewed tape, read what they said, and had his input." Now the question is, and this might be more the question that we may never know, was, how much of his input did they take? And yeah, Tony, if they got rid of Flus, who'd be a viable replacement? And honestly,
I got that name right in my head. I got it. Mike Grable.
And here's the other thing. Yeah, because Mike Grable has done an awesome job in New York.
And we've done such a great job in Chicago.
Yeah, we have actually. Our defense went from worst to one of the top defenses in the league.
Well, we usually always have a good defense, except for one season where Poles tore it down.
No, we have not always had a good defense. We're a good defense.
We've been solid.
But when Cutler had his best year as a Bear, we had the worst defense in the league. In fact, our defense was pretty putrid for a couple seasons, even recently. But I mean, that's why the question is like, the other thing is in this league, Billy, once again, let me go back to Billy on this because, he's been around a long time watching these. I mean, since when is it 3 years and out on a coach when we all know it takes 3 to 5 years, right, to get their programs in place? Look at the coaches who are successful, right? They're all long tenured.
When was the last
How many
time we
short
had a long
tenured coaches?
Besides Lovey.
Yeah. Ditka. And look, they're the most 2 successful coaches we had, right? The guys who were here longer terms. How many first, second, third year coaches win Super Bowl rings? Think about that for a question. Think about it. Just think about that. Look at Kansas City. How many years has he been there as the head coach? How many years when of course Brady helped with the situation in Tampa, but that coaching staff had been there for a while.
It comes to mind is McVay.
He went to the Super Bowl. He didn't win the Super Bowl.
Well, he at least went there.
But McVay, he went to the Super Bowl, but he didn't win it. And he was I think he was in his third year, somewhere on there. Yeah. How many different coaches Pittsburgh had in the last 20 years?
Yeah, they always have a winning season, though.
They do, but that's because their front offense set them up for success. I think a little bit in their coach transition. But I mean, honestly, it's one of those things. Like, it takes a while for these coaches for their systems to catch up, doesn't it? I mean, it's not like I don't think he's on a hot seat. If you look what he's done with the defense, and here's the thing: we need to fire this Eberflus. We need to hire an offensive-minded coach. Okay, what happens when we hire an offensive-minded coach every time in Chicago? The defense suffers. We still don't win games. At some point, you just got to stick with the guy, and maybe you fine-tune the rest of the coaching staff.
We did that this season.
We did that this season with Shane Waldron. Now, here's a question. Does anyone think Shane Waldron is going to be the answer on the offensive side of the ball as far as making good offensive coaching decisions and scheme?
He'd be better than what we had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Oakland's like, we got what's this gutless one? It's like, yeah, but that wasn't your guys' fucking first choice. You guys wanted what's his name?
He'll do better in Vegas than he did here because he learned in Chicago what he can't do. I think the problem is he was you know, it was Getsy's first OC job after being the right with after Rodgers, and he got used to Rodgers, came to this situation, didn't react well to it, learned a lot. I think he'll be better with Minshew and Devontae there in Oakland, in Vegas. And that's not uncommon for a coach to maybe have a bad run somewhere else and go to the next team and do really good. I mean, but Shane's got a pretty good pedigree. I mean, he made Geno Smith look superhuman, didn't he? In Seattle. So is anyone worried about Shane Waldron calling the plays in Chicago? Woody, are you worried? Because you don't have an opinion on this.
Not yet. I'll see. I'll let you know in preseason in week 1.
No, I'm not too worried about it.
So you guys think this would be a big improvement then?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So I mean, it's tough. So I mean, for you guys, what's the byline for Eberflus? How many games do the Bears have to win? So for those who think that Eberflus is on the hot seat, which seems to be all of you but me, what do you think the byline is? At what point is he no longer in the hot seat?
If we win 9 or 10 games, he's not.
Yeah, we go 10-7, not on hot seat.
Yep.
It should have been 10-7 last season.
Yeah, Billy's nodding. Yeah, so 10 wins. So anything less than 10 wins, then he should be fired.
If we're 98, we make the playoffs. He's off.
Playoffs. That's what we need.
I mean, I agree. I think I agree in terms of I think if anything less than 10 wins or the playoffs is not achieved, it's somewhat of a bust year because I think that most of us feel that we could have won 10 games with Fields. And for me, it's more of a justification. If we win at least 10 games in playoffs, it's a justification for trading away Fields and drafting Caleb, right? Because in my mind, and if anyone thinks differently, please pipe up. I think the only reason he drafts Caleb is because he says Caleb, A, is better than Justin right now, and B, has a higher ceiling. If he didn't meet those two criteria, Justin Fields is still a starting quarterback in Chicago.
No, if we didn't have the number 1 pick, Justin still be a quarterback.
Well, that as well, but I don't think he would trade away Justin Fields if Justin's better than Caleb is now and has a higher season, has a higher ceiling.
Yeah, Justin was gone by mid-season. Poles already had his mind made up.
What do you think, Billy?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
A-Dub says, I mostly feel a lack of continuity in the coaching staff can hurt players' development, especially quarterback. A-Dub is right. That's the other reason why I don't think Plus is gone. I think they're going to give him at least 2 years with Caleb. At least 2 years, if not 3. Todd says, I'd say week 8 or 9, as Caleb grows and learns, and Walder learns, we'll have a good idea of him as an OC. So Tony's like, we got to pretty much go deep in the season. Okay. Yoli says, good morning to A-Dub. And A-Dub, or it says, good morning to Yoli. Got like the banner in our comment section. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's been I think that if the Bears didn't have their 1 pick, then yeah, I don't think we got rid of Fields. I don't know if he made up his mind at mid-season though, Mike.
Well, he was watching him for 2 years. He loved the player. Now he needed to know the person.
Yeah, but I mean, when he came back after injury, he actually poured up pretty good. I mean, it put us in position.
Yeah, he did everything they wanted him to do, and yet he was still gone.
Well, that doesn't mean that they we're going to get rid of. Yeah, I don't think that decision was made at mid-season though. Anyone agree with them? Anyone else? Anyone agree that they made up their mind at mid-season they were trading them away?
No, not mid-season.
Not mid-season.
To me, it sounds like he didn't even make up his mind for sure. If you watch the 1920 clip, thank you, Yoli. It sounds like they didn't make up their mind for sure until they did the 30 interview, the 30 visit. I don't think money had anything to do with it, or his guy per se. I mean, money probably plays a small factor at the end. But if you guys all watched that 1920 video, 1920 Football Lane, I think is the channel for Halas Hall that the Bears have, where they did that 35-minute like documentary on the draft process. When you listen to Poles speak, it really sounds like he didn't make up his mind until they did the 30 visits. Like they had an idea, but he didn't solidify it until Caleb came to Halas for that visit. And that's when they made up their mind that they were going to trade Justin and draft Caleb. I don't know. Did you guys see that video at all?
No, I didn't see it.
All right. What if you can watch the video the Bears put out? It's a great. Just you'll like the video just for Poles' reaction when he sees that Atlanta drafted Penix, because his reaction was priceless. It was like, huh? They did what? Penix, because they were trying. Rome was a target from day one at number 9. They were Poles. I mean, remember that night said that he almost did something stupid and traded up to get Rome, and he's happy he got him for free. But watch that video, guys, out there watching too. It's a great video they put on YouTube. I get the feeling that he's like, all right, I got them one pick. Let me look at these quarterbacks. He's been watching Caleb for a long time, but he was still between Caleb and Justin. And I think that 30 visit to Halas is that sounds like what sealed the deal. And that's when they decided to trade Justin.
Well, Justin said that during his exit interview, he kind of seen the writing on the wall by their facial expressions. He kind of knew he was already gone.
Yeah, I mean, I go ahead, Billy.
I just still don't understand. I mean, when they got rid of Justin, I mean, they could have kept. I mean, obviously they were getting Williams. You got rid of Justin for nothing. I mean, why didn't you just keep him as backup?
Yeah, it would have made HardKnocks even better.
Yeah. I mean, there's a piece of that, Billy, but another part of that is what was his contract this year? Like $15 million. So obviously you clear a lot of cap space when you trade him. And the one thing I will say is Poles did right by Justin. And Poles even said that, he went to Justin and he said, here are the teams who've offered, here are the teams that want to trade for you. Which one would you like to go to? And Justin said this actually in the Steelers, and they were talking about it. And Justin said he came to me and I told him I wanted to come here, and so they sent me to Pittsburgh and they sent me where I wanted to go. So I'll give him kudos. I've given him kudos in the past. I'll continue to give him kudos for doing right by a player. That's why we didn't get the compensation that some think we should have gotten. But keeping Fields would have been interesting. I mean, because the guy never had a regression year. He progressed every year.
Little by little.
I think he would have pushed Caleb, and Caleb would have pushed him.
Yep, that's what I'd have saw.
And then maybe you could have traded Justin for like a king's ransom at the end of the season. Well, no, because you declined the 5th-year option, so he's going to be a free agent. Yeah, I mean, we'd have had to pick up the 5th-year option to be able to trade him for a king's ransom.
You trade him before the deadline when somebody needs a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or
you
that. Yeah. So, I mean, tactically, yeah, I guess we could have made a different move there. But yeah, I saw what he said about the exit interview, too. He kind of had a small feel. I think, though, the feeling he had then was more of they're going to look at these quarterbacks, aren't they? But I don't think the decision was made, though, until they were deeper in that process. So, I mean, yeah, the writing kind of might have been on the wall, but that's hindsight. I think partially hindsight talking.
Well, they also did it the Bryce Young year he was drafted. They did the exact same thing.
Yep.
They were looking at the quarterbacks. They're going to do their due diligence, and they decided to stay with Justin. Second time's not a charm, though.
I mean, yeah, Fields Fields should be pissed. They stocked the team full of weapons and then got rid of them. Yeah. I mean, I think we could all say Fields and Williams are going to be tied to each other now for a long time. Could we say that's fair?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because if Fields goes to Pittsburgh and balls out, Yep. And Caleb is not as successful as he should be. Yeah. Holes is going to be run out of that town.
Or could you imagine this one, Billy, in about 2 years' time? The Super Bowl, Bears versus Steelers, Williams versus Fields. I mean, the NFL, that they're going to be that marketing team doesn't have to do any work.
Oh, that'd be something else.
That sells itself.
Yeah. I think it dispels the notion that the Bears can't grow quarterbacks. I think we did a better job with Fields than we've done in the past because the guy did nothing but progress. He didn't regress. He didn't tank. I mean, that's the thing. It's hard. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at a pretty good season. I can't wait to see some video of the tailgating, Billy, this year. Always fun when you come on for the pre-show from the tailgate site. So I'm looking forward to that. Sometimes
dude, we got some big plans this year, man. Like I say, we're taking over Indy. We already got 2 big old charter buses. We're setting up with the crew tailgating, and man, we're gonna have a big party up in there.
So for those who may not know, let them know where you're at Soldier Field during the season, so they can start making their plans to come visit you now.
Oh, definitely, man. Every game, man. Harrison and Wabash in the Loop, downtown Chicago, man. 1st and 10 tailgate. Look us up. Anytime anybody comes to a Bears game, you guys are more than welcome to come join us for a tailgate. Promise you, you'll have a blast, man. You get to hang out with all the super fans from Chicago, and like I say, it's a blast, man. I'll be at the Hall of Fame game. Can't wait for that. We're going to be tailgating at the Hall of Fame game. I'll be in the end zone with my defense sign at the Hall of Fame game. So it's going to be a blast, man.
We'll have to do some screen captures of Billy on TV because it's funny. I'll be sitting watching the game, and all of a sudden, I'll right before a commercial break, I'll go to turn away, and I'll snap back. Oh, it's Billy.
I get that out. Like I say, my phone always blows up all the time, man. It's like beep, 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 beep. That's when I know I'm on TV. I look at everybody. Hey, we're all just on TV. So I tell everybody around me, it's just like, hey, don't be sitting there. If I get up, you better be cheering because you're going to get caught in the background looking stupid if you're just like sleeping or something.
I'm surprised they're just not moving your tickets, closer to Don. So you and Don could be sitting there together,
Don, Bearman, he sits by the tunnel where it comes out. I'm perfect. I'm right in the end zone. I'm between the goalposts. So we said we were going to sit together one year because he has 2 more seats behind me. He gives out to his family, but we always talk about sitting next to each other.
Good stuff. Now, are you coming up to the draft? Are you going up to the draft with us next year to Green Bay?
Oh yes, I will be up in Green Bay for the draft, man. We'll be doing a big tailgate party with all the tailgates from the NFL. We'll be doing something big in Green Bay.
We're going to have, not only are we going to have all the tailgates up there, but we're going to have a lot of the Huddle Network up there too. We're all coming up.
We guys got to come by, man, and come set up by us when we're all tailgating, man, because that's the spot that's going to be, man. It's every tailgate, big tailgate from every NFL. We're all going to gather in one spot, and we're just going to have a good time.
I think I know where we're broadcasting our show from during the draft. I think we'll just hang out with Billy and do our show at the tailgate.
Yeah, most
you guys
definitely.
are more than welcome, man. Come set up with us, do your show right there. That's the spot that's going to be. Every super fan from every team's going to be around in our little tailgate. So it'll be a nice spot to host the show.
And that's where we're all going to be at for the next draft. But let's get ready for this next season. We are out of time for this week. Hey, Billy, great to always see you. Come on whenever you want, of course. Hope to see more of you. Mike and Woody, great as always. Hey, everyone have a safe weekend. Start enjoying that nice weather. Don't put too much faith in OTAs, but we'll see you guys Wednesday night. Bear down.
Bear down.
Packers suck.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B, Around the Indoor Football World, Shield TV, and The Big Football Show. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Brosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, Bodkin Show, and Spirit of Detroit podcast. The nightly podcasts are Halas Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Wrestling Roundup, Skull Gang 365, First and 10 with Foz, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballin' Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, 313 Den Podcast, Puckett, The Guys Huddle, Main Event Football Show, Let's Talk Sports, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, and Off the Rails. Hope you enjoy all the shows and feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Peace out, everyone. Have a great day.